Ashley Stevens, host of Class is in Session. This show exclusively on Black Enterprise highlights the latest happenings inside HBCU classrooms, public policy issues facing these historic institutions, the business side of HBCU sports, and the overall state of Black higher education. We also shine a spotlight on HBCU alum who are doing really big things in their communities and in the business world. And one of those special HBCU alums is here with us today. Actor, singer, producer, director, Andre Pitre. Welcome.
Welcome. We're happy to be here.
Glad to have you here. We're connecting at Black Enterprise's Black Men Excel Summit, which is also shining the spotlight on Black men in the business world doing great things. So I understand you're an HBCU alum, right?
Yes, I'm a graduate of Prairie View A&M University.
Prairie View.
Located in Prairie View, Texas, about 30 miles outside of Houston.
Okay, what made you choose an HBCU?
Oh, man. Well, my first option was Juilliard, because I grew up, singing and acting.
Yeah.
I had no idea you can go and audition to attend. So a few of my boys was like, man, why don't you come to Prairie View? And we were all roommates and suite mates. And it was one of the best decisions that I've made. I learned so much just being around my people, and some of the relationships I still have. And I've met people from all over. I'm a country boy from Beaumont, Texas, but I still keep in touch with some of my boys in Detroit, Chicago. I'm based in Los Angeles right now, so it was one of the greatest experiences that I've had.
That's incredible. And how did your education at Prairie View set you up for your career as an actor, producer, director, singer?
Well, I've been singing and acting my whole life. I'm the oldest of three boys, and my dad was big on education. So singing and acting and putting on productions was second nature to me. But my dad was big on, you're going to get an education. So I majored in communication, radio and television, with a minor in sociology.
Okay.
I first went for music and theater, but I was like, I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life. So let me work on the other part. So when I sit in front of a camera or I'm being interviewed, I want to learn how to speak properly, because a lot of interviews my dad would, when I would come home after him watching me on TV, he said, you said too many times. So again, just the experience of going to Prairie View.
That's awesome. It sounds like you made some powerful connections that you still stick with you today. And are any of those connections folks that you still work with in your professional career?
Well, one in particular is my business partner. She played Kimberly Reese on A Different World.
Yes!
Charnel Brown.
Yes!
The name of our company is Try Win Productions.
Okay.
And it means try until you win. And we started in like 99, 2000, and we just been grinding, doing different projects, plays. We have a bunch of movies ready to go. We're just waiting for the finances, which is a lot of the holdup for a lot of stuff, but we just push through. We have an acting academy that she runs called the Charnel Brown Acting Academy.
Okay.
It's in Houston, Texas, and it's every 6 weeks. So I'll make sure to get the information. So if you know anyone that's interested in just learning the craft, because she starts from ages 7 on up.
Okay.
And it's beginners, advanced, we do screenwriting, and all of our students are working.
Really?
All of them.
That's incredible.
Yes, we did a movie which is on Tubi called Changes that I created and she wrote, and we did the play version first, and then we turned it into a movie. And so I casted all of our students, and they're in the movie. And the one that plays my brother, I gave him the shot to edit the movie, and now he's all over the place, just busy. So
Fantastic.
that's our goal, is to, build up our own.
And I like that attitude, right?
Yes.
And not only are you helping to teach the next generation, but you're helping them to be employed in the space as well.
Yes,
That's really
yes.
meaningful. It is good to know what Charnel has been up to since graduating from Hillman College and going on to medical school.
I tell her all the time, I said, you are the reason why, one of the reasons why I wanted to go to a black college, just so many of us.
Absolutely.
And just the impact that she's had on my life as a friend and a mentor, because she's also my acting coach as well.
Wow.
So I've learned a lot from her.
That's incredible. Well, I'm excited to hear that. Let's talk a little bit about some of the projects you're working on, because it sounds like one of them also is going to involve or be opened up to HBCU students.
Yes. It's called The Black Man. So last year around this time, I think it was around midnight, I just woke up, and I'm always in a creative mode, always. And so God put it on my heart to do a one-man show. Me being a black man and me going through so much at a very young age, and then just the last several years of my life has been very up and down. And so I lost my dad in 2015, who was just very major in my life. And so I made a vow to him, and we had a conversation, and he was like, don't ever stop. And so again, he's been pushing me since the age of 4. So I wanted to create something, a safe place for us as black men to talk and be vulnerable. And since I'm in the business and I'm used to being on stage and being transparent and being vulnerable, I was like, let's go. So I created it. I brought it to Charnel's attention, and we debuted it in Houston in March, and they loved it so much we brought it back Easter weekend. And the response is amazing because I actually dress up as these characters, and I sit down and do what a lot of us need to do, talk without being judged, without being cut off. And it was healing for me, because every night I'm just boo-hooing. And then after the show, we do a Q&A, and I allow the men to speak first. Because once we peel that layer off, then you'll see, okay, this is what it is. And it's a lot of us that are struggling. A lot of us that want to talk, but when we talk, what do they tell us? Shut up and dribble. Go play, go shoot, go dance, go sing. No, we have a voice. I have a great team behind me. And what's crazy is my team consists of strong black women.
Wow,
And
that's powerful.
we're getting ready to do some major stuff. We debuting it in LA, October 27th at the Miracle Theater. I'm excited about that. And our goal is, one of my goals is to take it all over, especially HBCUs. And I just want to fill rooms. Most of the rooms, I want to fill them up with black men, you know, because we need to be heard. No matter where we come from, what we're dealing with, we need to be heard and not be judged.
And I say that so it sounds like the black man it's about self-expression and I guess the promotion of mental health awareness as well. So has this been in part cathartic or healing for you? Have there been learning lessons for you personally as you've done this professionally?
I went through, and I get emotional when I talk about it, but the last 4 years of my life has been just, it's been tough. And for me, I take, when I go through things, I use it in a positive. I go to the gym, I write, I create, because so many of us, we don't have outlets, positive outlets. Most of the conversations that men have where they're vulnerable is with someone they really trust. We're in the barbershop, we're at the gym, we're at the strip club, you know, we chilling at the smokers lounge. But what most people think we're doing in those places is not what you think. Like, there's some powerful conversations. There's some very, like, I love you, man, I appreciate it. And it's a lot of cats that listen, you know. And one thing about my show, it's a lot of people that were like, thank you for giving me a voice. And then I give them a chance to speak. And I was like, wow. One show I had the grandfather, the father, and the son.
Really?
And I had a 15-year-old that he said, man, you caught my attention. And that was powerful for me.
So I think it sounds like it's a very healthy process for you to be able to display that on stage, but also open it up to the audience to share their experience as well. And what are you hoping that HBCU students would be able to gain from being able to see the black man?
Just, man, it's, I can't even put a label on it. My goal is for young men going into college, for them not to be, for them to be free to be who they are, not have to go through things to be like, okay, like when you go to school or whatever, just be who you are. Every day we wake up, it's not guaranteed we're gonna finish that day. So we have to make every second count. We run around and we get caught up in all this frivolous stuff and this social media and this phone. The phone to me is so toxic at times. It's great, but then you have so many people, if they don't get a like or they don't get a comment, they feel like they're not special, you know?
And something that's been discussed at our Black Men Excel Summit has been, you know, what does a performance indicator look like for you? What is it for you that you say, this is how I define success? Is it the number of songs that have been chart topping? Is it the number of plays that you've written or directed? Is it the number of awards you win? Like for you, what is a performance indicator, so to speak, that makes you feel like this was important to me? Or is it even anything tangible?
The older I get, I realize it's about what I've gone through to touch someone. It's bigger than all that, because you can't take that, any of that stuff, you can't take that with you.
Right.
But what you can leave is an impact on a young man or a young lady, or just someone that's struggling. That it's a lot of people in our 30s and 40s and 50s that's like they going through these midlife crises and losing jobs, and it's just like the weight of the world. And I want to say, hey, when we're dead and gone, that stuff is still going to be here.
Yeah.
There's a better place where we're going. So get your house in order. Like we again, because I get caught up in, we all get caught up in, the first thing we do when we wake up in the morning is I've learned I don't even touch my phone.
That's good.
I'm like, thank you for allowing me to open my eyes and put my feet on the ground.
That's it. Yeah.
God humbled me behind closed doors. But I want to tell people, like, hey, what I look like is not what I've been through.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what this is about. That's what the Black Man, moving forward, everything I'm doing, from my music to all of that. Because I've always wanted to put out positive. I've had record deals, I've had people approach me, but I'm not selling out. I just can't do that.
What does selling out mean and look like to you?
Not staying true to who you are. Because people have their different versions of selling out. I know who I am. I know who God has called me to be. Because I got to go home and be accountable to my brothers, my mom that's still living, my dad that sold so much into me. So I have a lot of people praying for me, and I have to be accountable. Much is given, much is required.
Absolutely. You do a lot. Singing, acting, directing, and I think, college students, I mentor high school and college students and speak to particularly HBCU students about preparing for careers. And one common thing I think I hear is, I'm majoring in this, but I'm passionate in this. Can I do them all? How do I find what I want to hone in on? What if someone is a jack or a Jill of all trades? What advice would you give them to either hone in on one thing or,
well, I was that student, because I love to sing, but at the same time, I love to act. I used to get my little brother, but he's 6'7" now, so he's not my little brother, big brother. And I would dress him up and we would perform. So singing was my passion, but when I met Charnel, she was like, you got some great acting skills. So my advice to anyone, whatever that is that's burning, whatever that is you can go do for free, focus on that. And it's gonna open up for everything else. Because what God is gonna do is he's gonna meet you where you at. So if you pushing, your steps are already ordered. So everything is already gonna be set up. So I encourage everyone just to follow your dreams. I don't care how old you are, what you've been through.
What's next for you?
Well, besides the Black Man, I'm working on an album. Man, that's been a blessing, because I've been putting out music and I had deals and stuff didn't go through, but I kept going. I kept going. And so, again, these last several months, God has blessed me with some amazing people who has connected the dots. Yeah. And so we're working on an album which is entitled The Black Man.
Oh, love it.
Which is going to chronicle just everything that I have been going through from a little boy up until now. Yeah. So not only will the play resemble what Black men are dealing with or what I'm dealing with, but my music is going to chronicle that as well, because that's going to be the soundtrack for the play. Charnel and I have some amazing stuff coming.
Well, we're looking forward to it. Tell us and tell our audience, where can they find out more about the Black Man and also about you, Andre Pitre?
We have a Black Man page on Facebook.
Okay.
My social media is Andre Pitre, and it's Pitre, the number 13, and everything is on there. Also on YouTube, under my name, Andre Pitre. You can also, I have the information on my social media platforms for the Black Man.
Okay.
Again, we're going to be at the Miracle Theater, October 27th. That's in Inglewood. And then I'm already claiming it, but we're going to hit up New Orleans. What else? Vegas, DC. We're trying to get a few more shows before the end of the year.
Gotcha.
But 2024 is powerful. Powerful.
It is so. It is already
And
done.
we're doing a Black Man TV series.
Okay.
So with that, I already have some of my boys that I know in the industry. I'm going to call them up. Hey, man, I got a role for you. No audition, none of that. And we're going to audition for 3 of the characters to bring on someone new.
Love it. So that's that power of connection
Yes,
and lifting
yes,
other people
yes,
up.
yes.
Love to hear that. Thank you for sharing your journey with
thank
us as a Black man who is doing major things and a Black man who excels. Really
Thank you for
appreciate
having
that.
me.
Really
Thank you.
appreciate
And good luck to everything you're doing as well.
Thank you. Listen, it's a blessing to be here. It is a blessing to be here.
Yes.
And I do mean that. I really do mean that.
Amen.
So thank you all for keeping it locked with us. Man, y'all, I'm gonna be in tears in a moment. On this episode of Class is in Session with Andre Pitre. Be sure to follow him on social media at his website to find out more information on The Black Man. It's a one-man show, a very powerful play about self-expression, mental health awareness, and it's going to be on the road. It's going to be continuing to make stops and hopefully at some Black colleges as well. Again, keep it locked on all of Black Enterprise's social media channels and for the latest and greatest digital content on blackenterprise.com. I'm your host, Ashley Stevens, and Class is dismissed.